Hi, it's Billy Dunlap with GoLaurens.com and GoClinton.com. Welcome to Week 10 of the Laurens County Football Show, coming to you from just outside of J.W. Babb Stadium, right here on the campus of Greenwood High School, where on Friday night the Laurens Raiders will take on the Greenwood Eagles at 7:30 p.m. in the regular season finale for both teams. Laurens comes in, they're 3-6 overall, 2-2 in region play. They lost to Malden in a tough, hard-fought game last week, 17-15. The Raiders turned it on late in the game, but the rally came up short at the very end. Now, Troy Dendy seems to be back healthy. He's had an ankle injury, hamstring tweak, but he had 20 carries for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns against Malden. Now, the defense, they have been lights out the last few games. They forced 4 turnovers on Friday night against Malden. They were only able to convert 1 of them into points, but they did create 3 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery against the Mavericks. Now, the Raiders are already in the 5A playoffs. That's already done. But they're going to be matched up with Region 4. So we're not sure where, depending on the games on Friday night. Hillcrest plays Malden. Right now, Hillcrest is 4-0. They sit at the top of the region. Greenwood's 3-1. Malden's 3-1. Laurens is 2-2. Hillcrest and Malden play on Friday night. Greenwood and Laurens play. So still a lot to be said about where 1 through 4 they fall in the playoffs. But their region, Region 2, will be matched up with Region 4. That's in the Rock Hill area. That is Rock Hill at the top of that region. They're 3-0. Northwestern is 2-1. Nation Ford is 2-1. Fort Mill is 1-2. So those are the 4 teams in Region 4 that have made the playoffs. Rock Hill plays Northwestern on Friday night. Nation Ford plays Fort Mill as well. So a lot to be determined in both regions on where they'll play next week when the 5A state playoffs start. But Laurens at Greenwood right here at J.W. Babb Stadium, 7:30 on Friday night. Now let's talk about the Greenwood Eagles. 7-2 overall, 3-1 in region play. They defeated Riverside last week, 54-14. Now, the Eagles lost to Laurens last year, 20-10. That's 2 in a row that the Raiders have taken over the Eagles. So far this season, Greenwood has a loss to T.O.Hanna and Hillcrest, 2 quality programs. Now, on the offensive side, everything starts and stops with quarterback Dre Yarborough. He's a dual threat quarterback, likes to run the ball, but when he needs to throw, he can do that as well. He's got a Shrine Bowl wide receiver, Sam Pinckney, a big, tall receiver that's a big target for Yarborough. So Pinckney's a key offensive threat for the Eagles. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got a north-south all-star defensive back, Vaughn Ramsey. So the Eagles are loaded with talent. It's a big challenge for the Raiders right here, Friday night, 7:30, regular season finale for both teams. Now let's move on to Clinton and Woodruff. The Red Devils are going to Woodruff to face the Wolverines. Clinton 3-6 overall, 1-3 in region play. They lost to Broome 35-19 last week. The Red Devils gave up big plays throughout the game. Coach Andrew Webb said that they ran roughly 40 plays, that Broome ran roughly 40 plays and gained about 80 yards, but the other 10 plays accounted for about 300 yards. So big plays given up by the Red Devil defense, struggling on making key plays and keeping those big plays minimized. Now, sophomore quarterback Connor Richardson, he had his best game of the season. He was 11 for 16 for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 49 yards. The Red Devil defense, they're struggling right now. Coach Andrew Webb said they're struggling making tackles. They gave up 421 yards last week, gave up 343 yards rushing on the ground. Now, big shout out to offensive lineman Cody Varn for the Red Devils. He was named to the North-South All-Star team this year, so congratulations to Cody. Now, the Red Devils, according to Coach Webb, they need to win to get into the playoffs. They could lose to Woodruff and still get in. There's a slight chance. There's some point differential there that could be decided, but they win, they're in. They lose, we'll just have to wait and see. Now Woodruff comes in, they're 2-7 overall, 0-4 in region play. Not your typical Wolverine team. They've been ravaged by injuries throughout the season. They lost to Mid Carolina last week 38-9. That's Mid Carolina's first victory of the season. Now, like I said, been ravaged with injuries. As of a couple of weeks ago, they were playing their fourth quarterback of the season. Now, quarterback Drew Lawton, he'll get the snaps on Friday night. Also, another key player is wide receiver Austin Parks. The Wolverines, they've got 2 wins on the season, St. Joseph's and AC Flora. So a big opportunity for the Red Devils. They win, they're in the playoffs. So that is Friday night, 7:30 at Woodruff High School. Now let's move on to Laurens Academy. They're going to Northside Christian on Friday night. Laurens Academy coming in 1-7 overall, 1-3 in region play. They lost to King Academy last week, 64-44. Thomas Lowry had a big night, 29 of 49 for 358 yards. He also ran for 61 yards. He ran for 2 touchdowns. He threw for 4 touchdowns. So 6 total touchdowns for the freshman quarterback. Joshua Moore had a big night, 13 receptions, 206 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Northside Christian, they're out of Lexington, South Carolina. They come in, they're 4-5 overall, 2-1 in region play. They defeated Holly Hill Academy 34-20 last week. The wins for Northside Christian, they've got wins over Newberry Academy, St. John's Christian Academy, Calhoun Academy, and Holly Hill Academy. So that'll be the regular season finale for the Crusaders at Northside Christian Academy Friday night at 7:30. Now the Presbyterian College Blue Hose, they're back in action this week. This is their finale of their 7-game homestand that they've had during the 2017 season. They're going to face Kennesaw State for homecoming, 2:30 p.m. at Bailey Memorial Stadium. PC comes in, they're 3-4 overall, 0-1 in Big South play. Like I said, they were off last week, returning this week. They lost to Charleston Southern 7-0 2 weeks ago. Kennesaw State comes in, they're just outside of Atlanta. They come in, they're 6-1 overall, 2-0 in Big South play. They sit at the top of the Big South Conference standings right now. Kennesaw State, the Owls defeated Gardner-Webb last week 17-3. Currently, Kennesaw State leads the nation in rushing with 333 yards rushing per game. So a big challenge for Coach Tommy Spangler and the Blue Hose on Saturday, 2:30 at Bailey Memorial Stadium against Kennesaw State. It'll be homecoming. Hey, that's going to do it for week 10 of the Laurens County Football Show. We're going to wrap up the regular season for our high school teams this week, and we'll see what happens next week as far as playoffs. We should know something on Saturday morning as far as who's in the playoffs and where they're going to play next week. So we'll bring you that on GoLaurens.com on Saturday morning. But that's going to do it for week 10. We've got 4 big games in the county this week. We're looking for 4 W's from our Laurens County teams, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the game.